before we get started, welcome to the show. Smooth
is a ridiculous person.
Gonna be something. Smooth is obsessed with the Ed Gein.
Oh my God, that's so good. Pray for him.
You should pray for him. Because he finds a way to bring up the Ed Gein thing in every bit of conversation. And he keeps calling him Ed Gein.
By the way,
he's like obsessed with it, but yet he can't pronounce the man's name.
Right.
Nah, man.
Several times in the show.
Ed Gein.
Eddie was outside.
Yeah, Eddie was outside.
I mean, you think we should give him like a couple minutes just to get it off his chest?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get into the show.
I do not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we back. Brother Smooth is in the building.
Hello.
LT is in the building.
What's up, man?
I'm Adam Butler. That's Paul Spann.
Black Man Span in the building, baby.
You tuned into
the MSR Podcast.
We back in the building. Follow us on all social platforms. MSR Tribe on Instagram. MSR Pod on TikTok. Mindstream Radio on Facebook. Subscribe to the podcast. Remember to rate and review on the podcast platforms. Do all of that stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to jump right into the show today because we have a lot to talk about. We got a heavy show. Okay, we got one topic that we get into kind of late. It's been a few weeks, but it's a great follow-up to something we talked about earlier. LT, if you're ready, let's get to our first topic.
So first topic is going to be the Cardinals finding the coach. How much was it? $100,000 for his altercation with the running back, Amari. I can't even say this name. DeMercado. His name is Amari Gein. But seriously, after they lost to the Tennessee Titans on Sunday, they had a bit of an altercation, and he got fined $100,000 by the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. Head coach named Jonathan Gannon. A few Sundays back. Like I said, we get into this one late. Reason why we wanted to talk about this though, because if you all follow our show, these two gentlemen had an epic debate about hard coaching and whether or not, masculinity and all of these things. It was actually an extremely great conversation, and I just kind of sat back and watched these two dudes just argue with each other. That's always fun to do. So, Paul, I know you wanted to have a kind of
gloating moment
on this one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go for it, Pete. Go for it.
Your DEI explanation.
Why I was right.
Go for it.
All right. All right.
Go for it.
Smooth.
Immediately.
Right. No. Seriously, just dude got fined $100,000 for hitting his running back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's a very frustrating play. What the running back did was very frustrating. To drop the ball before you cross the goal line is really idiotic.
And it's like a trend in the NFL, by the way. It's like the third time it's happened this season.
Yeah, and it's something that shouldn't happen, and he does need to focus better. But the emotional regularity part of it, the part, like, understand, talking to that man and even yelling at him, what you advocate for very much so. You love people getting yelled at.
The smooth hits.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you hit?
You know what I'm saying? But I can see, and you were talking Smooth before about how he's preparing them for when you're a professional, this, that, and the third. But when you're professional, you still have to emotionally regulate yourself. It's proven by the coach because he just got fined because he shouldn't be hitting a player.
No, I agree. I mean, you shouldn't hit anybody. However, in that space,
Go ahead, man.
Get beat down. I mean, no, I mean, I think right. I think sometimes, emotional times. I mean, to be honest with you, also, even at the NFL level, I mean, how the players play determines if you have a job or not.
Very true.
Right.
Very
so
true.
It's very stressful for the coach as well. And I'm not sure about their standings right now or their record, but we don't know what the relationship they have with them as well. Right. There could be relationships like, what are you doing? Come on. Like, let's do better. Let's think better. Like we have to win. This is entertainment, but we have to win. So, I mean, I'm not advocating for nobody, to get bodied, but
We're not letting you coach no little league.
A pimp named Slickback.
Don't be a piece of shit, Smooth. No. Nah, so no, I think this was obviously again funny to bring up.
Right.
Because it goes back to that conversation we had a while back, but you should never hit a player. And he got fined, and that's full stop right. But these are emotional sports. And I think that goes to Paul's point about like being able to regulate your emotions. That is a coach that could potentially be on the hot seat. That had a player do a very bonehead thing in a game that they are, otherwise probably would have won. Had that touchdown has stayed on the board. And so you can see why he got fired up and coach in your face and all this and that. And, also don't want to, you all saw the clip. You don't want to slice. He didn't like take his helmet off and
right. He ain't beat the crap out of him.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But he hit the man. And so it is a good little nice tie up to what we were talking about like, you got to regulate yourself emotionally so you aren't at the point where you're hitting somebody. Everything he did up until the point of hitting that man, I 100%. Fully understood. You got to be able to face that dude. You could lose your job because of him. You know what I mean? Like, that's absolutely right. Like, that is the perfect example of a coach that could potentially be on the hot seat. I believe this is year 2 for him in Arizona. He used to be I want to say he was the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles a few years back when he went to the Super Bowl. So, it was high expectations for that man to come and transform an organization like the Arizona Cardinals, which is kind of like a down-bottom organization, and bring them back up into, to the level of the Philadelphia Eagles, quite frankly. And it hasn't quite worked out yet.
As of yet.
To get a little bit into inside football, the other coordinator from the Eagles that got hired that exact same year is over in Indianapolis, and his team is kicking ass right now. It's a lot of pressure on dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you lose because a player, and for the people at home that aren't football fans, what happened was the dude literally you have to cross the plane. You have to cross the end zone.
The ball has to
goal line.
Yes,
the ball has to cross the plane. So you've actually seen guys, I remember like Terrell Owens and Deshaun Jackson, they would literally go all the way up and literally just do like this, just to kind of taunt the other team. A lot of players like to drop the ball once they get right into the end zone.
In the end zone, yeah.
We can't show this clip because NFL clips will get you struck down. They'll strike your whole video. So we can't show you the clip of the guy running across the goal line. You can look it up, but he ran and he dropped the ball literally right before he got to the goal line. So it is shocking.
And he also cost his team 2 points, by the way.
Yeah. It's a shockingly stupid play. Shockingly stupid. Like, one of the worst things you could do, other than like spitting in the player's face and getting kicked out or, purposely trying to hurt somebody. It's really dumb. And the coach has every right to get fired up and get up in your face and intimidate the shit out of you.
So let me
cross the line. Let's finish this. Where you cross the line is where you hit. And that is proven by the fine and what happened. Go for it, brother.
I know it's gonna sound like I'm just trying to be
yourself.
Yeah, myself, right?
The audience knows,
but if that was a male coach with a woman player of any sport, he would have been gone.
Yeah,
right.
Very true.
But he got fined with men.
Yeah,
it's proving a point that like this shit's normal.
Okay.
My man set that up.
Okay,
just to say that. There you go. There you go.
You know what? I actually have nothing else to say.
That's just
you got that one.
Next subject. You got that one. Hey,
you got that one.
Next subject, LT.
Next subject. It's ridiculous. So we're going to get a little bit more serious this time. We're going to talk about I was about to say something.
Don't do it.
I know. We're going to talk about how the government has been very militant lately, especially with ICE and all that, all of that stuff. What they did in Chicago recently at the apartment building where they basically raided it off of information that some gang members were in it and essentially pretty much went up and down that building and took everybody out. It didn't matter who you were, your mammy, your grandmammy, your children, everybody was getting taken out and detained as if they were all criminals. And we really need to talk about like how far are we going to let this, how far is the government going to keep going with all this, before they realize like they may be stepping on people's civil rights and everything. So let's talk about it.
So I was trying to find the name of the gang that was inside of the Chicago building, and really, I couldn't find it. But we'll be able to put it in the show notes. Really, this is just more of a checkup on what's going on currently in the nation. We're here in Washington D.C. We did a show on it. Our first show back, actually. We talked to Tony Lewis.
Yeah, don't get taken.
Yeah, when we had our sort of police takeover here in Washington, D.C., which is still going on. There have been updates to that. The focus is less on Washington, D.C. right now, and it's on Chicago. It's on Memphis. It's on, I believe he wants to send people to, is it
Louisiana?
No, not Louisiana. Well, he might, but I think it's like San Diego.
California, yep.
And somewhere else he really wanted, there are National Guard in Memphis. There are National Guard in Chicago. Okay. And Chicago seems to be a focal point because of how combative the governor and mayor of Chicago were about the ability to send National Guard into to their state and into
Let
that
them know
city.
he didn't ask for him.
Right. They fought, and a lot of people were looking at DC and Mayor Bowser in particular and going, why don't you conduct yourself like them?
She can't.
One is because she can't. Two,
totally different situations.
Because this is what is happening in Chicago would have happened to us 10 times worse because there's no control. Now, I want to say this very clearly. I agree with every stance that the governor and mayor of Chicago took and has taken.
And he's pretty funny and clever too.
I'm very proud of them. And what is happening in Chicago, for me, is 100% wrong. It is a military, or as close to what we've seen of a military occupation of a city. It's about as close. It's not as close as we'll ever get, obviously, but it's super close.
Yeah. Which is illegal, by the way, because it's not supposed to be happening to American citizens. But go right ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's the frightening part. That's the frightening part. A few weeks ago, Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, not War, flew in all of the generals to Quantico.
Yeah.
And gave this big speech. And I talked about this on the show before, in our Sada episode. Hegseth talked about grooming and weight and men wearing dresses and all this and that, and it could be it could be dismissed as like this douchebag's just up there talking, silly.
Yeah.
But it was when the president of the United States got up there and said that we're going to be sending military to American cities, and it is a war. You should consider it a war. Is where it gets frightening to me. And this is why I was so caught up in what was going on here in Washington, D.C. Now, I saw Chappelle the other night. Chappelle made a joke about the National Guard, or about a week ago I saw Chappelle, and we made a joke about the National Guard and about how, like, the joke is they ain't doing nothing, right? And it's true. Like, they are legit just standing around. But it was never the National Guard. The National Guard was the one that was kind of like, that's egregious and frightening because they're military people, in some cases, holding assault rifles. But it's ICE, and it's the activation of every other federal police force or police force that they can take over that is the horrifying thing. So the thing that's come out of all of this, Memphis, D.C., Chicago, and any other, they're in California, in LA, I believe, and any other place where the president has identified that this is a place that needs to be taken over and saved, right? The biggest thing you have to worry about is ICE.
Yeah.
It's ICE. ICE is the one. And ICE is the organization that's running up in buildings, landing on buildings like they're military, like they
in America.
And locking down an entire apartment building looking for
With innocent people in it also.
right, and worse. And these are the and anyone could jump in after this. These are the big shock and awe ones, right? National Guard with machine guns hanging out, jumping onto an apartment building and, zip tying the entire building. The stuff that's super scary to me is the shit that doesn't hit the news every single day. It's only popping on outlets like Washington Problems and these little small social media networks.
Right.
Where it's just like a Mexican woman in a car. This was actually a real one, in Chicago. So this wouldn't be a Washington Problems thing, but this is a Chicago thing. A Mexican mother in a van getting pulled over in a affluent neighborhood. So she's probably someone that is like a babysitter or something, or nanny.
Or a pair or something,
Yeah. Being snatched out of her car with her kids still in the car, crying and begging. Not to not be locked up at this point, but what we going to do about my kids? I think this was in New York. There's a clip of a woman being literally snatched, a man, a husband, literally being snatched out of his family's hands. They're crying. And the woman is crying, and an ICE agent slams her to the ground.
Yep.
So the scariest thing about ICE, and again, please jump in. I'm done after this. The scariest thing about ICE to me is that they're secret police wearing masks. They're recruiting hard, so you're just
anybody can be one.
Anyone,
by the way,
anybody.
You'll get a whatever. What is it? $50,000 signing bonus. I might be picking up. That might be.
No, I think that's the.
Yeah, it's a nut ass signing bonus.
Yeah.
So anybody could do it. You don't got to be super trained. You're not like in deploying them on the streets. The Supreme Court has pretty much given them permission to racially profile. So if you look a certain way, you going in the van, and they sending you to wild ass places
that you don't even belong. Like, bro, they're still teaching compassion training to regular police officers.
Yeah.
To like we've had a problem with over policing. We've had a problem with, and we're just talking about the regular portion of it that we've given the permission and the commission to actually police over us, right?
Right.
Now, with this guy, with who we have as our president, he's already set a 100% tone of us against them. That he spouts at every chance that he gets.
Yeah.
Every chance that he gets. There's no element of, well, these are our thoughts and our beliefs, but I'm the president of the full part of America. None whatsoever. He literally said that I get back at people. Like he uses this platform, right? So then you have ICE agents, like you all have already alluded to, that can be anyone. That can be anyone. That you can put a battery in their back. They could be some punk, whom some Latino dude took his girl. Some Rico Suave came. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No element of, like I said, no element of compassion training, no element of true training.
Right.
No back.
In tactics and any of those things.
Yeah.
So even when you see their takedowns, they're just people.
Yeah.
Taking down other people.
Wearing masks.
What, bro, sometimes the spaces that we've been in these last 8 or 9 months, like I'm not saying that everything is unheard of and we've never seen certain things, but we getting new shit week by week, dog.
I mean, a secret police force. I'm calling them that for a reason. Everybody obviously knows
it's
what ICE is.
Right.
But they're walking around with masks on, which to me makes them feel like a secret police force because I can't identify you. I can't report you. If you knock me, if you accidentally arrest,
my
homie who's a natural born citizen, but he is of Latin descent, and I'm standing there and you knock him out and do all this stuff.
Nothing I can do about it.
From my knowledge, there's no place to report. Because I can't even see your face. I don't know where you take.
You don't got a badge number.
Yeah, no badge number.
No identification.
Outside
of the vest that says ICE on it.
Exactly. I don't know where you're taking people. You're shipping people outside of the country. Some cases you're shipping them to Africa.
where they've never been.
Okay. Or at best, you're going to go to Alcatraz. What's it called? Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh yeah.
By the way, we got a place called Alligator Alcatraz.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Okay. So
The Legion of Doom.
That's crazy in and of itself, bro.
Now-
I just had to say that.
I want everyone to share their opinion, obviously, but I bring this up only because, and we're talking about this on the show, only because it's important to keep talking about these things. It could get annoying. You know, it's much more fun to talk about Cash Money versus No Limit, which we'll talk about later, or
We will.
coaches and, you know, all this stuff. But this stuff is happening in our country. And I will give a silver lining. I know you want to, you know, I'm sure you want to share your opinion too, but I do want to give a silver lining because I want the audience to understand that it's not over. Like, it's still hope in a fight. And this is an interesting wrinkle, in my opinion. We talk about Manosphere a lot. We talk about other platforms that helped us get here, quite frankly. In this case, we're talking about Aiden Ross. We're talking about Joe Rogan. We're talking about Andrew Schultz. And we're talking about, what's my boy named, the comedian, what had happened last weekend, whatever his name is.
John Oliver.
No, not John Evans. No. It'll come to
Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn.
Oh, Theo Vaughn.
Think about Theo Vaughn. Those
He's
people are bringing up
Mhm.
on purpose. Each one of them platformed Donald Trump during the election cycle. Famously platformed him, did not platform Kamala Harris for different reasons. Some cases, Kamala Harris did not want to go on those shows. Some cases, they made it real difficult, like as in the Joe Rogan case. It had to be on his terms, so she didn't agree with his terms, and it just didn't happen, right? But either way, Donald Trump made a visit to each one of those platforms, and many people look at those platforms for swaying the male vote and the youth vote. Well, recently, each one of those creators have come out.
Denounce cuz.
They have not denounced him. I don't want to misrepresent. I don't want to misrepresent.
Right.
They have not denounced him. Joe Rogan is certainly not.
Oh, no, not in the least bit.
What they have done is denounced the policy of immigration. They have denounced his immigration policy. Smooth, I want to ask you, because we talk about media literacy a lot. Do you think it's important that, not saying we forgive them, not saying we should, they buddy your buddy now, everything's good, and I love me some Andrew Schultz now. It's not that. And by the way, I'm going to make a distinction. Aiden Ross did not denounce anything.
Right.
Aiden Ross just basically said, man, I wish I didn't stop talking politics on my platform.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have started politically.
Theo Vaughn, I think it's important to do this before we ask. I think it's real important. Theo Vaughn denounced Donald Trump's immigration policy. They used him in an ad
Without his permission.
Without his permission, he came out and said, "Don't use me in the ad." He said, "My dad was an immigrant," and he said, "When it comes to immigration, I have, different thoughts than that." Joe Rogan has denounced the immigration policies and been very critical of them. Andrew Schultz and his team has sort of denounced it, but more so said, damn, man, we didn't vote for any of this. We thought you were going to do X, Y, and Z, and really all you're doing is the opposite. I think that's important because Aiden Ross doesn't get credit from me at all. And the other guys are, it's important to find out what they say. Smooth, do you think this is a good thing that these right-wing-ish, red pill-ish platforms are starting to be critical of the immigration policy?
I think so. I think we should always be critical of all power, no matter what side you're on. But I do think, though, that so one piece of it is bad for the brand. So some people may think that they're just there to kind of simulate, get on the correct side of history and save face. Another side of it is they actually don't agree with the policy.
Right. Right.
Or maybe they may agree with the policy, but maybe how it's not being carried out.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different there's a lot of different variables to it.
Right.
So I think it just depends. It depends on who the listener is. I think the people who already wrote them off don't care.
Absolutely right.
They don't care. But this is an opportunity for those audiences, those creators and their audiences to guide a different conversation.
Yeah.
right? And maybe there's the opportunity to talk about the nuances into policies, and that, you know, it's okay that if you voted for Trump or anybody, but also disagree with their policy. There's a lot of people who disagree with President Obama's policies, right? So I think that, and these even kind of go back to like, not back to, but goes to the HBCUs and them having more of like the conservative voices touring. It's now we need to have a different type of thought. We need to have a different type of way of how we're engaging.
I'm not giving anyone a pass per se, right? But it is encouraging. There's a reason that Trump sought these people out. They, by definition, they are influencers.
Yeah.
Which means that their voice carries weight with people that look like them, with people that are younger than them.
Right.
And understand, like, ultimately what we're talking about, once you've made a impressionable mindset, like, when there are things that all of us remember from our childhood that are like a part of us. Like, it's a part of our core belief system, is a part of, you know, we can close our eyes and reminisce and like, man, this is where I felt this way about this and I felt that way about that. So the purpose of these people reaching these people is to do that, is to implement a thought process into the younger generation. So it is encouraging to see them have that chink in the armor, because it'll allow other conversations to permeate between that mindset also.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Right.
Yeah. I think it's important. I agree with you all. I think it's incredibly encouraging, because I think it's important to understand why they mattered in the first place. Why did the Joe Rogan show matter? Why did the Andrew Schultz show matter? Why did Theo Von's show matter? Why did Aiden Ross show matter? Right? And we've talked about this, about like having counter spaces to those spaces, right? But also, and this is something else Gavin Newsom said, I thought was very smart. As a politician and a potential presidential nominee, he wants to understand why the Democrats got their ass kicked. Because right now, for me, we're past the point of, this is not normal politics. This is something we bring up on the show every day, every episode, pretty much. And we may have some debates within the nuances of the subject we might bring up, right? But for the most part, this isn't a conversation with Trump and the Trump administration. And it's like, that's way the pros and cons of a secret police body slamming your nanny and throwing her in a van and shipping her out of the country without you knowing, and doing whatever with the kids. Who knows what happens with the kids? That's not a conversation. That's not a, let's have a nice conversation, try to figure
this out.
No, that is, you are stretching the law to its max, and we have to figure out how to defeat that. And let the next person come around and figure out an immigration policy that works.
Yes, much better than this.
Right? So you have people, these hosts that are going, oh man, I didn't think, and some, you could decide which one you think is genuine and which one you don't. I'll tell you, I think Theo Von is genuine. I think he's genuine because I think that his show should have never been a platform for high-level political talk. And I think his audience is not, but I think that those audiences of those shows, Theo Von, mind you, what do they all have in common except for Aiden Ross? They're comedians.
Right.
They're free speech warriors.
Right.
They're people who have a large male listenership who are tired of the ways that things were going in the United States. They were sick of it. They felt alienated and ostracized from the political and social conversation. We talked about this last week on the show with the Aisha Curry thing. We talked about how, okay, if a black man responds poorly to Aisha Curry, women, I get it, you don't want to have that dialogue because you shouldn't want to. But for us men, we need to look at that guy and go, why are you mad at Aisha Curry for saying what she said? Let's break that down. So why was it when Andrew Schultz and all them, they got so caught up in more of the freedom of speech and being able to kind of, and watching the country go one way that they felt like it shouldn't, but they were able to ignore the things that Donald Trump was actually saying. So I could be mad at them about that. I could call Theo Von, I'm going to let you jump in and say, I can look at Theo Von and go, man, you got to be kind of dumb to have an immigrant father and say that you have your father's immigration papers in a frame on your wall and not hear what Donald Trump was saying. But I can say, you know what? You're just not good at talking politics. I could go Joe Rogan. You just seem to be kind of like a contrarian, and you just got to question your whole platform is just questioning, and not coming up with results. So it's real easy for Donald Trump to just come on and talk, because all you wanted to do was talk to Donald Trump. And you wanted to talk to Kamala. And I can look at Kamala and go, that was a missed opportunity. Because that's a man that was just going to let you come on his platform and just talk. And all he was going to do is just ask questions. He's deep as a puddle. But you could have worked that and got his audience on your side. Instead, you allowed Donald Trump to do it. Andrew Schultz and them, the only thing they care about is freedom of speech and being able to joan on and crack on whoever they want without somebody telling them you wrong and you canceled and this, that, and another. Donald Trump went on that platform and fed into it. Kamala Harris, your people should have put you on that platform. Now, why it's good is because they clearly have influence. And so now these people with influence, whether you like them or not, are going, man, that dude is wrong. So when I hear Gavin Newsom, and I keep bringing up Gavin Newsom because right now Gavin Newsom is the only potential presidential nominee
for Democrats
face that's talking. There's an AOC out there. There's obviously AOC. There's obviously Westmore. You know, Westmore said he's not running for president. There's also obviously Gretchen Moore, I think, out Michigan, and I forgot my man out Pennsylvania. Can't think of his name right now.
The big white dude.
No, this is the can't think of his name right now. I'm so sorry.
He was a senator.
Shapiro out in Pennsylvania. There's people that could be propped up. But right now, Gavin Newsom is the only one like acting like a person is going to run for president, right? And so when I hear him say, you know what? I want to go on these platforms.
Right.
I want to get in front of these people because he sees an opportunity. This is not political discourse with your political enemy and like shaking hands and coming up with back deals in the halls of Congress. This is, I need to get these people back so we can get the country back corrected again. You're not going to fix it overnight, but I need to figure out how to, at the very least, get ICE agents off of the streets and get National Guard out of cities and get different police forces to start acting like normal police forces and not a Centurion Guard for the president. That's what we have to get past.
Yeah.
So it's a slimmer of hope. And if you are smart, Paul, and then LT, I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. If you are smart and you're a smart politician, you better be trying to figure out how to use Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, and whoever else.
They tried to have Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. Right. So I think they just hit the wrong target.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that the Democrats, like, they really put their hat or their money on the leftist way.
Yeah.
But it's like, dogs.
And the elitist way.
What about the Democrats?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I love Megan Thee Stallion. This ain't got nothing to do with Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B or Jay-Z or Beyonce or whoever or John Bon Jovi or whatever like huge celebrity that you could come to a rally. George Clooney. Whoever big giant celebrity that you can get to go to a rally and pump up that rally crowd, but it doesn't move the needle because you're not talking to anyone. Right. Megan Thee Stallion doesn't have a podcast that you can go to where she's going to sit down with you. And if it is, it's something that they did specifically made by the campaign. Yeah. It's all lit perfectly. And it's you and Cardi B sitting down and you get a couple of softball questions. I remember Taraji P. Henson did one for, I think for Kamala. And it was just kind of like, that's not it. You need to go to people with a built-in audience of people that you are failing with and talk to those people. I said this to Paul on the phone. I'm going to let the cat out the bag. This time next year, this is October, the end of October, going into November. So this time next year, it should not be a total. Like it should be at least a 25% reality that Governor Westmore will come sit on this show.
Right.
By this time next year, It should not be a total like outrageous like you're lunching. Westmore's not going to go jumping in. Right now, I get it because we just starting the show back up and I get it. But what I'm trying to say, or a show like ours, but really our show, but a show like ours. The reason why I'm saying that is because we will be speaking to the people that he will need. Maybe he won't need them in the state of Maryland because Maryland's a different beast. But if he's operating for the national ticket and if he's thinking the way I think he thinks and the way he should think, which is we are on mission to correct the country. So that means we got to get the Senate back. We got to get the Congress back. We got to get the whole thing back. That's the goal for 2026, right? Midterm elections. Then a show that's majority men, and the woman that is on our show is a young Muslim black woman. So it means we speak to a specific audience of people, a jaded audience within the Democratic Party, by the way. Then someone like Wes Moore or Angela Also Brooks, or someone that all they got to do is drive down the street. I'm not asking Gavin Newsom or AOC to take a flight. Do it if you want. Gladly welcome you.
Or your dime.
Huh?
On their dime.
On their dime, we can't afford to fly you down. I'm sorry. But you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom was on the Higher Learning podcast because Higher Learning is in L.A. and he is the governor of California. So it's a ride for him. You feel what I'm saying? But that was a smart move for him because that's an audience that he can tap into that is a constituency that is annoyed and frustrated by what's going on and scared. So I'm just saying it's smart to utilize the tools that are in front of you instead of shunning those tools because those tools didn't work out for you before.
So I'll make real quick 2 points.
Go ahead.
One is the demographic of the Democratic Party is changing.
Yes.
It's a facelift, and I think that there's some people who are trying to figure that out. They're trying to figure out what's the best way to connect to certain people because the messenger matters. I don't want to see Kamala Harris in a barbershop. That looks pandery to me. Like I don't want to see that. Right. But if you had like and maybe because it's more of a male thing, but if you had like a Barack Obama, President Obama in that same space, that's something that would connect. And not just because she's a woman. I think part of it is probably because she is a woman, but I think that the Democratic Party has no identity.
Yeah.
We're going through like an identity, but they're going through an identity crisis, right? And I think that they're the kids getting punched in the face and don't know what to do next.
Yeah. Can I just say something real quick about that? And then you jump in P and then T real quick. I don't want to see none of them in the barbershop. Reason why is because all the barbershop dude gonna go is, oh yeah, here's my list of questions I got to ask and let me bring it up. No, I want them sitting down on platforms with either journalists or talking heads that can ask them questions and follow up on a question.
But the people who listen to those podcasts aren't necessarily the problematic population.
Some of them they are though. If they're going on Rogan or if they're going on Schultz, that is you talking to the people that may not be true red blood MAGA Republicans that follow like Charlie Kirk, right? And there's even some of Charlie Kirk's audience that you could tap into, by the way, because not every single person that was like following Charlie Kirk is like a hang 'em from a tree racist.
Right.
Some of them are just young people that just saw a dude speaking his mind and was like, yeah, I like that. He's challenging people. You know what I mean? There's people out there. So if you're going on those platforms, the Westmore thing I brought up about him coming on our show, that's different.
That's flexing.
But what I'm saying about, because when I say our platform, I'm talking about like platform, what they did not do the first time around in 2024, everything, and it's not Kamala going to go where people tell her to go. So this isn't a Kamala Harris thing. I love Kamala Harris, right? It's what are you choosing? How are you attacking? And I'll make this point real quick, please, you jump in. How are you attacking? So they famously did not go on certain platforms that ended up being voter bases that they lost. Not that they never had. They lost the youth vote. They lost the Latin vote. They lost it.
Yeah.
They lost a decent percentage of the black male vote. They lost it. Some of it is sexism because it's a black woman and this, that, and another. But none of them was, you haven't spoken to me yet. But you did talk to Megan Thee Stallion. You did talk to George Clooney. You did talk to John Bon Jovi. You talked to the barbershop. But we could all tell that's manufactured. Go ahead, P. I don't keep rapping.
Yeah, I mean that was the the problem.
Mhm.
That was the like, understand, everyone has to understand something that Smooth talks about all the time, the new elements of media and what is truthfully effective. Like Megan Thee Stallion and all those, like the way that that the Dems had their lineup, that may have been overtly effective 15 years ago.
Yeah, it worked for
You-
Obama.
Yeah,
Getting Jay-Z on
Yeah, you
stage
understand?
worked for Obama.
nowadays, no.
Yeah.
No, you and like you said, they did miss an opportunity. You do have to go on some of these what you may consider contrarian podcasts, because there
Mhm.
are people that you need to reach, that need to
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
Because like Adam said, everyone isn't there. They aren't dug into the ground yet.
Yeah.
They are still trying to figure it out. And when certain people have figured that out and they know to pander to that, like they know, man, let me go in here and let me rouse these folks up a little bit and let them know, hey man, are you tired of this? Are you tired of that?
Or
You know what I'm
Trump, what
saying?
Trump did was just kind of go up there and just kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah.
They didn't challenge him. He
Right.
and their audience looked at it and was like, wow, Kamala is a stuck-up liberal elitist who won't even talk to me. But Trump,
He's gonna come.
he's laughing with Andrew Schultz.
Right.
He's letting Joe
Right.
Rogan ask him whatever. He's yucking it up with Theo Vaughn. So it's just like the game has
It's
changed on them,
simple.
and they haven't caught up. And I think that's why I bring up
So I think that's a bigger thing, is why haven't they caught up?
why haven't they? That's a great. Yes, that's exactly right.
Right.
And will they? Do you think
Take it for granted.
Do you think that they will catch up?
The Democrat.
Yeah.
So I just want to speak real quick on what you were saying about how
Mhm.
Trump went on these podcasts that were, like you said, you're not going to say they all the way right wing, whatever, like, but they were heavily viewed by people that might be right wing or
Mhm.
just trying to
Yes.
figure themselves out, the young
Yes.
people. Now, Trump went on those shows obviously because he knew he had some type of, friend in them, if you will.
Right.
And that's because he knew, like, he already knew at that point that he had people who were undecided but were really leaning on him. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, he didn't have to go on a Breakfast Club or a more leftist wing type of podcast,
He didn't
because
need
he
that.
already knew he
Yeah.
had all that.
He
So
didn't
when
need
y'all
that.
say stuff like the
Mhm.
Democrats do be fumbling the bag
Yeah.
quite a couple of times when it comes to, like, oh, we have to speak to some of these folks because we're, kind of seen as the party that's always like, no, 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 that's not, no, no, no. So we have to talk to them and kind of talk to them in a way where it's like, hey, we're not saying no because we don't like you. We're saying no because we want to make sure everybody is good. And essentially that's what you would hope all Americans are about, like just trying to make sure everybody's good. But obviously that's not true. At the end of the day, yeah, the Democrats can come back.
Mhm.
Will they? That's something for, future us to find out. But as far as right now, yeah, they've been fumbling the bag quite a bit.
I think it's Rhapsody the basement for them.
Say that again.
I think it's Rhapsody the basement for the Democrats. I think it's a
Oh.
wrap. It's done.
It's over
Like,
for 'em.
it's over. Like I don't
It's a wrap.
see any coming back. I don't
That's
see
crazy.
a force. I don't see, aside from Gavin Newsom, I don't see any
But if you say
any.
outside of Gavin Newsom, then that means that Gavin Newsom is the one that could bring it back.
I don't know. I mean, he's just a face, but I don't think he's. I don't think he's.
that's true.
Okay.
I think that, now polls, but I think the polling numbers, I think the approval numbers, I think people starting to speak out on certain things that wouldn't normally speak out is super encouraging. And I don't think we should just sit around, and this is we'll be getting ready to wrap this segment up on this. I don't think we should be sitting around as a constituency waiting on someone to give us the plan. I think that we should be demanding certain things. But I go off of Kamala's book. I think it's called 107 Days. I go off of what I just heard from Gavin Newsom. I go off of what I'm seeing from commentators and podcasters who were, as T said, like maybe not ultra right, but kind of like, but rolled with the right, with that side, with the red team, right? I go off of what the shift I'm seeing, and I'm saying that is not the end all be all.
Right.
That means that, man, I was done. I was down 21-0 at the end of the first half, and I just got a turnover in their red zone. Yeah. And man, I got an opportunity to score and get the ball back at the top of the second half. Yeah. I could still lose this game, but I got an opportunity to come back. Yeah. And so I can't drop the ball at the goal line.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I gotta figure out a way to ride this momentum, and that momentum is there because of the optics. P, you could make the last comment on this. Because of the optics that we're seeing, because this administration is so heavy-handed and not nuanced and not clever and not smart at all, but they have power and they know how to use the power, right? But they're not like clever. They don't get underneath your nose. They don't make you feel good about anything you see unless you are a red hat wearing ass MAGA. Most people, by the numbers, are seeing this and being appalled and horrified by it. By everything, even this government shutdown, which we didn't really get into, is hurting people, and people are against it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do think there's a slither of hope, and I think that is on us to push.
Yeah.
Maybe the Democratic Party never comes back in full, but push people in the right direction. Pete, make the last comment.
I think things are so polarizing. Like it's so polarizing that there is an opportunity for opposition and thought. Like there is one, just because, like you said, things are so shocking, and then the people whom you would think would be all the way in on things, they still have an element of conscience to go, man, I may have these certain feelings, and I may agree with a lot of the other things these people are saying, but some of this stuff is down outright 100% wrong and borderlining inhumane. So with that going into it, I think we cannot, like, I don't even like to really speak on like because I don't like bringing more divisiveness into it, like a us against them type of thing. I don't like to say that, but I understand what we're up against. So I think that it's very important for us to continue to speak out on things. I think it's to present things for the youth and ideology. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, we have 2 or 3 years to help sway a different thought of process. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just like chuck it up and it be like, well, yeah, man, they already fucked up and this is done and over with, because we still got to live here, and our kids have to live here beyond us.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep talking about this. We're gonna follow this closely. Obviously, we'll see what happens. With all of this, all of this, man.
Future us will find out.
Future us will find out, baby.
And Westmore, we need you, bro.
Yeah, for real. Come to the show. But coming up next, we're gonna lighten it up a little bit, and one of our favorite humans in the world, and we're not talking about hologram.
Yeah.
Hologram Nargis.
We're gonna shoot to the virtual
2026.
We're still working on that, by the way.
Still
Still
working
on that.
But we're gonna transfer to the virtual studio, and we're gonna talk about this Verzuz that's coming up, I believe, this weekend, or real soon. We're gonna talk about this Verzuz, this Cash Money versus No Limit Verzuz, coming up next. Nargis is in the building. As you see, we had a little switch up. We moved from the studio to the virtual studio. Clarence isn't here. Paul isn't here. It's just us three holding it down for this conversation. Let me say this really quick. And this is not us, by the way. This is not like a one gotta go. We could debate, but we're not gonna like pick a winner, and like we're not about to have the verses here. We're just gonna talk about verses. LT, you remember this? Our first episode back, right? And we talked about our best moments, our favorite moments over the past 7 years or whatever we were off air. And one of mine was the uptick in like virtual concerts and virtual music series. And obviously Verzuz was the one that really kicked it off. Verzuz, what's the DJ name? Golly, never mind. It was a couple of things that went on during the pandemic. A couple of DJs were doing things, but Verzuz was the one that really took it off. Yeah. Let me say, Yeah, what was the DJ? I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to remember. It'll come to me in the middle of the show, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's
The
gonna bother
guy.
me. Yeah, that's going to bother me. It's gonna come. It'll pop in my mind. Yeah, LT, go ahead and look it up.
Google is for.
There we go. It was two of them. But anyway, I love Verzuz. Okay, I really, if there was anything cool about the pandemic, and it wasn't much cool about the pandemic, but if it was one thing that was really cool about the pandemic, was the weekly Verzuz battles and like the anticipation and the everyone getting together. At first, everyone was kind of getting together virtually, and then eventually we were kind of getting together, like, we were brave enough to hang out with each other. The Verzuz thing, I thought was a brilliant idea. I think they eventually overthought it and kind of ruined it. I'm surprised to see it back. Am I the only person that's surprised that there's a Verzuz in 2025? Narcus, I'll start with you.
No, I thought it was it went the way of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what a hell of a way to bring it back. If you're gonna entice people to get back into it.
Yeah.
One of the ones.
Yeah. Reason why I say I thought they overthought it a bit is because, well, I won't walk through the whole history of Verzuz, but they switched networks. They made it a little more difficult to watch. A lot of money got involved in it. And I think they got caught up. One, I don't think they realized what they really had. We actually said this off air. You said this off air, Nargis, that it's not about picking a winner. And I think that some of the people, and especially because of the way the Locks and the Dipset one went, right? Where it turned into like the Locks beat the Dipset, right? But I think that they didn't realize that they had a celebration of music more so than a battle, right? You can't pick a winner in these things. There's only one, and the only reason the Locks and Dipset one went that way is because it was the most New York of them. Like, they were playing like deep mixtape joints, and Jadakiss was freestyling, right? And so that's why you could say he outperformed the Dipset. But the rest of the Verzuz, and I mean, you've had gospel artists go against each other. You've had legendary R&B art. We had Patti LaBelle and I think it was like Anita Baker or somebody like that went up against each other. Like that's not a battle. Brandy and Monica, that's not a battle. Too Short and E40.
And Erykah Badu.
That was one of the early joints. So shouts out to D'Angelo. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. He was supposed to go up against Maxwell, I think it was. And somehow Maxwell couldn't make it. I think it was Maxwell. Whoever he's supposed to go up couldn't make it. And D'Angelo ended up doing it by himself. Snoop Dogg, DMX. I mean, think about what I'm saying here. People that are no longer here anymore, right? But I think that they got caught up in, man, what if we can get somebody to go against Hove? I remember Diddy and Jermaine Dupri were supposed to do one.
Yeah.
And so it got, I don't
we all know what happened with that.
Yeah. Diddy's not going to be doing the Verzuz anytime soon. Yeah.
Verzuz the court system.
Yeah, he had his Verzuz, and it didn't work out.
Exactly.
So I don't want to. I don't. Switch the subject. I don't want to be a motor mouth here. I think I'm excited because, and I don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be a Complex Con. I don't even know how we can watch it. I guess we're going to watch it on like Complex.com or something like that. I really don't even know. But I like the matchup that they picked. They didn't try to go for, Justin Bieber versus, Justin Timberlake or something like that, right? They went for the culture, and that's why it was winning before. So, Cash Money versus No Limit. All right. Super excited about this one. I think it's an interesting matchup. I'm going to go ahead to you two first. Let me know, Nargis, and then LT, who do you think, if there has to be a winner, or who are you more excited to see? No Limit or Cash Money?
I mean, Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 2000.
And it's one of the best party jams.
But I have to put an asterisk by my answer because it's like No Limit like ran so Cash Money could soar, you know? So it's not a versus in my mind. It's like a New Orleans concert
Yeah.
to look forward to, like a celebrate. It's gonna be like the most nostalgic because it's like these niggas had DC niggas trying to sound like they was from Ninth Ward.
Facts. Okay. Let me tell you, when that No Limit
Like the
shit was
fan
going,
culture
yeah,
that happened when Master P niggas wearing camo.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Niggas
yeah,
getting the locks the way
Like
that
it was
they
going
like.
to war or something.
yeah.
It was
Only
a
thing we didn't do
move.
is wear Reeboks. We ain't go that far.
We ain't
We
gonna
had
know.
hot phase.
We was too busy
No, we ain't gonna
wearing
know.
Air
We ain't gonna
Force.
know. But it had niggas come woody.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah.
hey, whoa. Like, you just
Yeah.
had, like, the culture was like, it was a time to be had. So while I am very much more of the age of Cash Money, I can definitely appreciate the sounds of No Limit and the sounds, the hits that came from Master P is definitely like memory unlocked.
Yeah. LT.
So when we first brought this up, I think my thought process was like Nargis, like where it was Cash Money, you know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like, you know, Cash Money definitely had a huge contribution to the you know, late 90s into the 2000s. But if we were solely talking about 90s, man, I would have to give it to No Limit just because, you know, they just came out with bangers on top of bangers. And then, you know, members of the group spread out and did their own thing, you know, Silk the Shocker, Mystical, you know, it's so many. Yeah, that's another way. Yeah.
I'm gonna get to Mystical in a minute, but yeah,
You
please
know what?
continue.
You know what the new Versus is? Who has the most problematic members?
Yeah. It's a problematic niggas on both sides of the aisle.
That's what I say. Like,
Yeah.
but I guess at depending on, I don't know. Like, I think like more excited to see, probably No Limit. You know, we've been hearing a lot from and seeing a lot of Cash Money in terms of like, you know, just some of the things they've been going through, you know, some of the put some respect on my name, you know, nonsense that's been going with them. But
I ain't thinking about that nigga.
No Limit.
Right.
The
thing is like the whole time.
Nobody does. But Master P has been kind of like quietly like doing his thing still.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, kind of seeing him come back, you know, would be nice, you know?
Yeah. I saw a clip. So to answer the question, I'm more excited about No Limit, and we talked about this in our group chat, and LT and I had a good conversation with shout outs to Ox. That's our one of our in-studio producers at Ideaplex. That's the dude. We had a big debate about it. And there's two things that came out of it, but just really quick, I'm excited about No Limit. I do think that I've asked a bunch of people this. If I'm not mistaken, you two are the same age, right? I think. LT, how old are you?
7.
Yeah, I'm older.
Yeah, okay. But in the same.
When you turn 38, you 87, right. You 88.
I'm 87.
Okay.
So
age wise, I'm 87.
Got it. So my wife is 87. That's why I brought that up, right?
Okay.
And I asked her the same thing. It was Cash Money, and that makes sense to me because it's about when you kind of. No Limit was like a very specific time when they were really like popping. If you want to get into like Chopper Style and all that came out like around 99, 2000, 2001, you get into like the Lil Romeo era and the dreadlock Master P. Now you're talking about something different, right? But if you're talking about low cut Caesar Master P with the fatigues, you're talking about 1993 to like 1998, maybe 99, right? you're talking about a specific time, and I really think about like at that time, because I'm 43. Okay, so I'm older than them. I'm not the oldest on the show. Paul is by far the oldest nigga on this show, but I'm, you know,
Way
by
to throw
far.
Paul under the bus.
Hey,
He's a
he the
grandpa.
oldest nigga. Yeah, he a granddad, literally twice. Okay, I ain't that old, but I'm older. So you know, you got to think in 94, 95, 90, like 95. No, I'm sorry, 6, 7, 8. I'm in high school.
Mhm.
Okay, this is DMX. This is No Limit. Owned this era.
Yeah.
Okay, owned it. Nargis mentioned earlier, like nobody had a chokehold on the DMV area like Scarface and Master P and No Limit. Okay, and by the way, Scarface and Master P and UGK and all them, they did music together all the time, right? Then people forget that Snoop signed to No Limit for like 4 years.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the first thing. I think that depending on how old you are is how much you're going to have. Like by the time Cash Money was really popping, I was in college. My musical taste had changed a little bit. I was like kind of into like Mos Def and Talib Kweli. I thought I was like, you know, deep, and so I was into different music by then, right? I like Cash Money, but it wasn't hitting the same as it would when I was like 14 years old. You feel me? So it's just different. The thing I'm excited about with No Limit is I saw them on TikTok. They had like this little video just like promoting, and I saw who was going to be there. Okay, so I saw Mia X. That gave me I just breathed just a breath of fresh air. I love Mia X. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw Master P. I saw Mac. I saw Fiend. I saw Silk the Shocker, but I saw Snoop. They're gonna bring out Snoop,
That's what's
and
up.
I was really wondering if they were gonna be able to pull like, because you know that's Snoop. Snoop may have a million other things to do. You know what I mean? He's done verses already. He did a legendary verses. So I'm glad that Snoop still recognizes that that's a big part of his career. They frankly saved his career. Many people don't realize that fuck them other niggas because they don't realize that's a Snoop song. Like people don't even think about that. So, but the problem is going to be, and this is what we alluded to this earlier. Mystical C Murder, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Cash Money's going to bring out the full lineup. Maybe not Turk. I don't know. There's been some beef there. But if they do manage it, yeah. So there's some problems with Turk. Turk and Baby don't seem to really like each other. And then BG, I remember last year, whenever BG got out, BG had some stuff to say about Turk. Turk is like hot and cold with them.
Yeah. Turk is the wild card.
Yeah. But I imagine you throw Turks and Brady gonna be there, okay? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
So Turk gonna be fine. Yeah, you ain't got to bail Turk out of jail. That's the thing, right? So that's the disadvantage. You're gonna have the entire Cash Money crew. You will not have the entire No Limit crew because two of the major players are sitting in jail.
Hype.
And you know that mystical energy.
Here I come.
Okay,
He will not be killed.
it's gonna be me. Right? We don't want to tell the worst joke. No, yeah, we don't want
Exactly. He will not be coming.
Please don't. But yeah, I just wonder if that's going to impact the performance. So that's why I'm not looking at this like winner and loser. I'm looking at it like, okay, this is honoring an era of music in a city in New Orleans that deserves its flowers and deserves to have this, you know, this moment. Another question I want to ask you, and this is something Ox brought up. What era? Okay, we know that the No Limit run was, like I said, you can go all the way back to like 1992 if you want to go like to like Mr. Ice Cream Man and all that, right? And the original one about it, like you're talking way back, right? West Coast All Stars, like way back Master P, right? So you can go, if you want to, you can go all the way back to like 1991, 92 and go to about 2003. Cash Money is different because there's two eras of Cash Money. Is the Young Money era, is that allowed?
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
I don't think it should.
That's the first thing I thought. Like when I first heard about it, my mind went to Young Money. I feel that Lil Wayne is an unfair advantage.
I agree with you. Because
Yes. I got Young Money.
Yeah.
If I so choose to insert Young Money
Yeah.
into this, I got a whole lineup over here,
Yeah.
which, not saying he's going to, but your favorite artist
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
could
I
be
mean, yeah. And so this
he's in that
reminds me.
lineage.
Yes. And so that's what I was about to say. This reminds me to Barry Late, I don't think they should, but I will say this reminds me of what happened in the Bone Thugs 3-6 Mafia verses. Okay. Juicy J started doing Juicy J songs from like post 3-6 Mafia, Bands and Make Her Dance and shit. And it was over. It was like Bone doesn't have a song past like 2005, really, and I'm being generous with 2005. And that's one of my favorite groups of all time. But let's be real, like the Bone Thugs thing ended like in 05 or something like that.
They've tried to resurrect themselves several times. And it's like, you almost.
Yeah. They had the Swizz Beatz era where they had a couple of hits. They got a song out now that, you know, again, us fans like, but it's not going to move anybody at like a verse. You know what I'm saying? We all know we talking about the 90s. You're talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? With 3-6 Mafia, it's very similar. Like 3-6 Mafia was out as long as Bone Thugs and Harmony, but they really hit like in the around 2000 with Who Run It and all that, right? And then their era went kind of about the early 2010s, and then Juicy J left the group. But then he started doing Juicy J songs, and he bought out Lil Wayne. Okay? He bought out Wayne, and it was like Bone couldn't bring out Biggie Smalls or Tupac. You see what I'm saying? They couldn't do it. Like, you feel what I mean? So it's very similar to me. Like, they were doing Thug Love and Bone and Biggie, but they were playing like, it was like the track playing.
Yeah.
Bands Make Her Dance, Lil Wayne coming out, the crowd going, oh, it's Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't, and that was cool for that versus whatever, right? I think that this should be a celebration of New Orleans, and Young Money is not a New Orleans crew. Cash Money is a Young Money is Drake, Nicki, Tyga.
I was about to say that's why he don't want Young Money involved because Drake's involved.
No, right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this.
Drake extends the Young Money.
I don't fuck with Drake, but I'm gonna say this: if Drake comes out at a versus, that'd be some real. If I don't think it's so, it's not about Drake. I'm gonna say if he did come out, that shit would be cool as fuck. Like I mean, you have to be a whole entire massive evil hater to not recognize that. Like, damn, that's pretty cool. Drake came out at versus. You know what I'm saying? He'd have to be a major hater for that. I'm not that big of a hater to nigga. Okay, I don't like him, but I ain't gonna be like. I mean, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Rap to the song.
He probably not gonna do a song. I'm going like. Anyway, listen. If I turn my camera on, there's the Kendrick album right there. No, but I don't think that.
You can't bring Young Money into it.
Yeah, I just think this is supposed to be a New Orleans artist celebration. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But see, that's where it gets tricky. So how many solo songs can Lil Wayne do then?
So honestly, I think that it is going to end up being more of a New Orleans concert than it is a versus, because the Hot Boys respect their elders.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of known.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going, like the other one, like the Locks and the Dips. It was funny because we knew it was like a little bit, drunk Jada and all that.
Yeah.
We watched, we watched Gucci and Jeezy because we knew it was beef there,
and that was culture, right?
It was like, we want to see who's gonna win because it's beef type of situation,
and we wanted to see them brothers make up. And the shit almost went left, and it was one of the funniest moments ever. But yeah,
a little bit, because Gucci,
I tell you what.
But I think this is gonna be more like how the Jill Scott, Eric Badu one was where it was just like respect. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
dang, her connection messed up. I'm gonna play her song kind of situation. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be much more courteous
Yes.
and very much like, we about to go out here and make this money.
Right.
We about to go out here and remind people who we are, what
Mhm.
we do, and we gonna make this
Mhm.
happen. Because at the end of the day, like, they businessmen before they anything else.
Right. And
Master
it's
P is a businessman before he's anything else.
Yeah.
Juvenile and Manny
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
businessmen before they anything
Right.
else.
Right.
So we going
Right. Right.
how we
Right.
gonna make the most bag out of this and
Facts.
give the fans what they want.
Facts. And that's what I think Versus, that's when it's at its best. I keep bringing up the Bone one because it was like the best and worst of Versus, right? Like the niggas got into a fight at that joint because Bone went into it believing they were going into a battle.
Yeah.
Like I watched like them explain themselves afterwards, and they were like, it's a fucking battle. Like, what were we talking shit? So they went into it talking shit. Busy was up there talking big shit. And finally, Juicy J was like, suck my dick because you're like talking shit. And we're just here to like celebrate some music. So I like when, as opposed to like 8 Ball, and I'm a big Versus fan, so I know all these joints. So as opposed to 8 Ball and MJG and UGK, which basically just was Bun B, it was like, we're celebrating, or E40 and Too Short, we celebrating the Bay. You feel what I'm saying? Like they usually set them up to celebrate either era of music. I think you had like Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One. So it's like celebrating they matched them up for a reason. Fat Joe, Ja Rule, because they got a lot of songs together. It's a certain era. So this to me,
Mario and Omarion.
Right.
Even though Mario went Baltimore.
Hey, the funniest part.
Mario went Baltimore, so
hey, when your man, what's his name, Jeremiah came out, was it
Jeremiah?
What that dude? Yeah, Jeremiah. I think he came out like Mario bought out to Jeremiah and he couldn't sing, and then Mario was like, "Don't do it." He said, "Don't do it." It's like, yeah, that was a babber, yeah. Yeah, asshole, bro. So yeah, some of them could get a little shady, but they're at their best when they're like a celebration of an era or a city or a genre. And I think this one is meant to be a celebration of the one. That's why I don't think you need to go too far into like the Young Money, but you got to do some Young Money stuff because you have to do some modern. Yeah, like Wayne got to do something off one of the Carters. He got to.
Yeah.
He got to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe he saves that for his own verses.
I don't know, but I don't know if Wayne would do one.
Who you think could go against Lil Wayne?
Who do you think Lil Wayne would deem
Tip
to go against?
Maybe Tip.
Maybe.
Out of respect, Tip's career is not the same as Wayne's career. I'm not saying that. Tip is a legend.
Yeah.
But I think if I were putting it together, I'd want to go with eras again, right? And so to me, Tip, Wayne, Ross, who else was like from that era, that late aughts, early 2010s? Who am I missing?
I saw a video. It's the old video of Lil Wayne where they talk about the top, whatever. He like, okay, Jay-Z on there? Okay, yeah, okay, who number 3? Okay, wait, M not on there? Who on there? Gucci who?
Yeah.
Shout out to my nigga Gucci.
I remember that.
But
it's like, for me, Wayne is definitely an all-timer.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not sure, and this could just be my musical bias, so it's all subjective. I'm not sure Wayne is up there with Jay. Like if I had to put it together, I wouldn't say you're going against Lil Wayne. I don't know who I'd go against Nas or somebody, but I wouldn't do Nas. But I don't know who could go against Lil Wayne. I guess it's nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like who do you think would get? Because in my mind, even though we don't think he's hip hop, it would be a protege. it would be a
Yeah.
Drake. Right? Just from
Yeah.
a longevity, hit for hit, different sound. Like it's not Wayne don't just spit, like he experiments with his sound sometimes.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, but even that, Wayne not gonna be like,
Yeah.
I have to go up against my son. Like,
Right. And I wouldn't it's for
that
real, as nasty as this sounds, there's only one person that Drake could go up against in the verses, and they did their verses. For real. Imagine how epic that shit would be.
if
If
it was
they
Drake and Kendrick,
if that was like you know what, fuck it. Let's just, you know what? Man called the man a pedophile, so I can see why he wouldn't want to fuck with him anymore. But you know, sorry, PDF
Yeah.
file. I gotta make sure I say that right on. I gotta make sure I edit that out. We
petty.
banned.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, yeah, Wayne is an interesting one. I guess that's like
Wayne
they
is
had
really
that trouble with Missy because they wanted Missy to do a versus, and they couldn't. You can't find anyone to match up with Missy. There is no one.
There really is no one for Missy.
You would have to put
Yeah.
Missy up against like, and this wouldn't even be fair, but like you would have to put Missy up against like Pharrell.
Yes.
Or you would have to put her up against like Outkast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't no female.
That's another one. There's no one for Outkast.
There's no one for Outkast.
Nobody.
No.
If Tribe Called Quest,
You actually did like Good Mob, but even that, it would just be a celebration.
Nah, what's called? Goddamn. Sorry.
They beat anybody.
You would have to bring
but
like the whole Dungeon family and then put
yeah,
Outkast.
it wouldn't be a verse.
Bring
it
7
would just be a
different
concert.
groups together to go against 2 dudes.
Yeah. Now I know that Andre had a major respect for Tribe, and they were actually supposed to do a joint album. He said that at Fife's funeral that they were going to do a joint album, which is really interesting. But
that would have been
crazy. So if Tribe were still a thing, if Fife was still alive, they would beat him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they got, but because it's like a protege and teacher and student thing going on, right?
Yeah.
That would be interesting, but that's it. I mean, I really can't think of anybody. So yeah, there are certain artists that like there's no artist, and Wayne is one of them. Wayne is one of them. That it's just I don't think that I can't pick anyone. Ross already did one because he did one with 2 Chainz. So yeah.
You know what I enjoyed though when they were doing, because this is like the genesis of verses, right? Like when it was like producer versus producer.
Yes. Yes.
Those were very enjoyable because that's when it was like you ain't even know I produced this. Like with the little sound joint.
Yes.
Or like Timbaland, like
the Teddy Riley joint, man. Michael Jackson joints, boy.
Oh my God.
Babyface versus Teddy Riley, even though the service was all crazy.
Yeah.
My man, people forget that Teddy Riley was like producing. He didn't remember the time.
Yeah.
Okay, like the producer joints are
the
definitely.
producer joints were some of the better ones to me, like because early on before Swiss and them sold it, but I think that's when they was getting their people out there, and it like it was like, oh my gosh, wait, I didn't even know about that song. Like that's when I think it was like it's most excitable because it could go in any direction.
Yeah, agreed, and it's like it's a stunt. Go ahead, T. I'm sure you about to talk.
Oh no, I was saying that first one was Timbaland versus Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
That was that very first one. That's the one.
And actually, that was a second. So actually, that was the second one. They actually did verses like, and you can find this on YouTube. They did. I'm not even sure if they called it verses at the time, but it was basically verses. Like 5 years before that, they were in like this like studio apartment, and Swizz was on one turntable. And I think it was golly, what's your boy that used to produce for Just Blaze? It was Swizz and Just Blaze, and they were like mixing their hits. And that was like the genesis of verses. And then Timbaland and Swizz did it like 2 times on like just like Instagram Live, like that's the ones y'all talking about.
Yeah.
And so
that were like big production style.
Yeah, and then they moved. So that actually brings me to my next question. And just let me know what you think about this, because I do think that Verzuz lost his way after a while. I talked about it at the beginning of the conversation. I think that they got, and Nargis alluded to it, they sold it. It became corporate. It became about getting bigger artists, and I think they lost their way because they didn't recognize the thing I think is really cool about Verzuz and Front Porch and Tiny Desk and stuff like this is that, and what's the Cadillac Chronicles, I think it's called, and all of these joints is that they're taking artists that a lot of people maybe they didn't forget about, but they aren't like the hottest artists right now. Maybe they were hot in the 2000s, maybe they were hot in the 2010s or the 90s, and giving them shine. And I think that's where Verzuz was great, you know, as opposed to trying to reach for the stars and get Mariah Carey versus Janet Jackson or A-lister versus A-lister. It's like, yo, we forgot how many joints Ja Rule had. We forgot how many joints Fat Joe had. Go ahead, Argus.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
So my question is, now that it's back, because it fell off for a reason, right? And Timbaland has become problematic with his AI artists and all this stuff. And, you know, some of the shine on these dudes is not as bright as it was during the pandemic. But it's back, and they got a good matchup. Do you think it will last? And can it last?
It gotta be a hell of, like, I feel like we gotta treat Verzuz like how we treat like the heavyweight bout. You know what I mean? Like, stretch it out.
Yeah.
Like, leave the people wanting something more, and then do another Verzuz like the end of 2026. Hell, early 2027, if that.
Good
You know
idea.
what I mean? Because if you give too much of it, then it becomes diluted, and then it just becomes. Then you're gonna start
scraping
I
the
don't know.
barrel.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be as exciting. I think everyone is excited because it is kind of serving to like us aging millennials who are remembering the time that it was. And honestly, I was thinking about this because I was thinking about the other conversation we had about like aging hip hop. And I think there is, I don't know if this is the intention with the Verzuz, but I think we see intentional efforts in other areas to continue to like lift up those who may be considered seasoned artists, seasoned rappers who still got it. And who can still make you bop. So I would hope that they would treat this as kind of like a something to look like, let's just like Super Bowl of music.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Who we gonna do next year? Who we gonna do next year? Like, let's not do a every month kind of thing, because that was good when, like you said, when it was a pandemic. But now we got stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly. T, I'm coming right to you. I just want to comment on what she said, because I think that's a really smart assessment. Because I think about the first person I thought about was Young Dro, right? Young Dro did Front Porch, and that joint was, I remember thinking like, damn, I forgot how nice Young Dro was, right? And then, and it with a live band and whatever the drummer had like some type of bass. So the bass drum was just like, it was crazy how like the sound was on that joint. Then he did Cadillac Chronicles. Next thing you know, he's on the Metro Boomin album like 5-6 times. You know what I mean? So it's like it created a career resurgence for that man, a forgotten artist, a guy that we totally forgot about. We just think about Shoulder Lean if you ever randomly think about Shoulder Lean, right? Unless you're in Atlanta, I don't know what it's like in the A, but like they don't play Shoulder Lean up here. You know what I mean? So, you know, you kind of forget about that. So you're absolutely right. You have to know your audience. They have to recognize that this is a grown folks thing. So you don't need to start getting into the younger artists and letting them go up against each other. That's not what we want to see. You're absolutely right. You got to make us want it. And that's why, LT, I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last. Because you can only do it once in a while. And where's the money in that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, T?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree in a sense where I think that, you know, we definitely should spread them out. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all thinking on the same page with that. Because this, oh yeah, we got the first season where they were coming out like almost every month or every other month. And then the second season, same thing. Third season, the same thing. And at this point, we really are kind of running out of, you know, artists that we all used to listen to to go up against each other. And in some cases, unfortunately, either a lot of the artists that we listen to are no longer with us, or either incarcerated or just full out retired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
They
we
not
really
talented no more. You can say it.
Yeah, some of them don't have it. If you watch Cadillac Chronicles, some of the people get in that joint and it's kind of like, that was cute, it's good. I'm glad you're doing well, but
Mhm.
no.
Everyone wants New Edition to stop.
Nah, man, they gonna keep going.
Did
New
they do
Edition
a
will
versus?
keep
Or
it.
am I wrong about that? No, Bobby
They
Brown
did.
did a verse.
No,
They
No,
did
I
one.
think
they
I
did.
think they did verses.
I think it was them. Actually,
I think they did
Yeah,
it.
look that one up. Yeah, I know Bobby Brown did the joint with Keith Sweat. That's what Keith Sweat was like. He had the Hennessy and shit. I mean, no, the Chirac. The
it
Chirac.
was
Yeah.
Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown for sure. But I
Yeah,
swear, New Edition did do one.
they probably did. Yeah, I'm sure y'all right. I just don't remember who they went up against. But you're right. Yeah, New Edition.
New
I mean, I
Edition.
feel you. That's the tough thing, and we'll get ready to wrap this up. But that's the tough thing, right? Like, and that gets into the older artist conversation. It's funny because a video came out today, a Scarface and Ice Cube video directed by DJ Pooh. Okay, so the director of Friday
Hmm.
did a I'm sorry, not the director, but one of the writers of Friday and the stars of Friday directed a video with Ice Cube and Scarface, and it's called Acting My Age or something like that, right? And it's supposed to be funny, like they're dressed up like babies and shit, and it's supposed to be like a comedic. And somebody tweeted, "This is why you need to know when to hang up the mic," right? And I retweeted that person. I said, "You could never tell Ice Cube and Scarface to hang up the mic, even if it sucks. They earn that right, right?" And I believe that. Like, I think you should rap till you just don't want to anymore. But that doesn't mean that I have to watch. Now I'm in the Scarface and Cube because I mean Scarface is one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, when you start scraping the barrel of artists, you're gonna start, what you're gonna start doing is finding like one-hit wonders or two-hit wonders. Somebody that had a hot song in 1980, now you're gonna have to go up there and do 10 songs. You don't want him, or they lost their voice, or whatever. I'm thinking about
Vanilla Ice versus Milli Vanilli.
well, can't do Milli Vanilli because
We can just do this Millie.
can't do Milli Vanilli. They're not around, but but
It's only
that's
one
not
who
funny.
passed.
I thought they both. Okay, well, see, damn,
No,
that's a
it's
see,
wrong
that's
with
a shame. That's terrible because I thought they were both gone. That's awful.
It's a
Shouts
good
out to-
documentary about it.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
They've been
Yeah,
the documentary.
I don't think it's going to work because Timbaland and Swizz is shown. Now, if they're going to do it every year at Complex Con, because that's what this is happening, then that's your yearly thing, right? And maybe Complex Con is just paying for it, cut Swizz and Timbaland a check, and they're good. But what they showed me and how they ran it into the ground last time, they had it coming on with pay-per-view fights and shit, like UFC fights and weird. You had to watch like a boxing match before the joint. It was like you sold it out. Like you took something that was organic and you sold it out. And you got to make money. I understand, but if they're going to have that mentality going forward, especially like Marcus said, we outside now, right? Like, I'm not sure how many people are going to sit around and watch this versus, if I'm being honest with you. Like, when does it come on? It's on a Saturday, the 25th. What are we going to be doing on Saturday? People going to be out and about. Is it coming on tonight? Like, when? Like, you're not going to get that same magic that you got during the pandemic. But I think a good thing came from versus, as you said earlier, No Limit walk, so Cash Money could soar, right? Versus walk, so Front Porch could soar, so Tiny Desk could soar, so Cadillac Chronicles could soar, and all these other like cool little like concert series that really focus on artists that older millennials are into. And in the case of Tiny Desk, artists from all over. Sometimes they break artists, sometimes it's an old school artist, sometimes it's a very current artist. So I'm always gonna be thankful for verses, and I'm thankful to watch this one. I hope, prayerfully I'll get to watch it. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's just too late. Because I mean, Cash Money's versus No Limits. Can you part your ass?
That's what I was
No.
gonna say. Like, as you were talking, I was thinking about like the movie The Wrestler,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking of like how many rapper equivalencies are there to where it's just like, y'all taking advantage. Like, let's
And again,
everybody just part ways here.
and then you're gonna start scraping the barrel. You know, I mean, they've done. I mean, I didn't even name half of the verses they did. I mean, they've done. I think they had like Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Osley Brothers. They had, you know what I mean. I mean, they've had huge, I mean, legendary matchups. Brandy, Monica. I mean, like, and like, not only were they legendary matchups, but they were like very much like, again, capturing the culture, Brandy and Monica, because that's like, oh, we thought they had a beef, you know, Bone 3-6.
Now they on concert.
Yeah, now they and people have, you know, Dipset, Locks, Jadakiss. I mean, they had Ghostface and Raekwon do one. They had Method Man and Redman do one.
KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that happened. Yeah.
Even Trina did one.
Trina and who was it? Trina and Eve. Eve don't even rap no more.
She don't. She is a kept woman.
Yeah, okay. She changed her life.
Well taken care of.
She is a mother.
Okay. So you
gotta entice, like, not to say that they wouldn't do it for the love of it, but like what is really in it for them to invest their time? And not to say that, you know, No Limit and Cash Money don't got stuff that they got going. Like, if you go to New Orleans, they're doing things. You know what I mean? Like their careers never stopped locally. So I don't know what the incentive, what was in it for them to do it, unless somebody got an album that's about to drop and they try and do like some early promo. I know
Cash Money's on tour. Huh? Juvenile do got an album out. Juvenile do got an album coming out. And Cash Money is on tour. They're actually coming to DC on like November the 13th or something like that. I almost had tickets for
the
it.
weekend I'm there.
I think that's when they're coming to see. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It's December 2nd. It's December 2nd because I remember I'm not gonna be anyway. Not important, but so maybe that's the incentive. No Limit, you know, it's No Limit. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Master P ain't gonna say no to a check if it
makes you know what I mean? So, but to me, No Limit and Cash Money, this is the last big one. This is the last one that was out there because everything else is stuff you can't get. You're not gonna get Jay-Z to do it. You're not gonna get Janet Jackson. You might, maybe, but I mean, you never say never, but you know what I mean? Like you so you could only go lower.
How many other artists, how many other independent labels like that got a bench?
None. You could do Rough Riders. So
you got Rough Riders. You got Murder Inc.
Dead.
I know. I'm just naming people.
Okay. Right. Okay. My bad. Yeah.
I know.
I'm just saying that's why you can't do it though. Right? That's why you can't. I'm sorry. But I want you to finish your point. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm just trying to think. Like, Murder Inc. ain't this beef there. It's mad beef there. They Dipset.
Bad Boy. So Def. See, but that's the thing. So Def. And so that's what the Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri thing was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the issue is either you're going to have to go lower or you start talking about people that unfortunately, now DMX has this opportunity to do a versus, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to go and even with that one, you already did the Locks, you already had Eve, you already had DMX, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to be doing, and they did Rough Rider songs. So it's I appreciate that this is happening, and I'm glad this is happening. I'm glad this is happening for New Orleans. I'm glad this is happening for those two crews. You know, I'm not going to act like I understand New Orleans politics, but I know that those two men, Baby and P, didn't necessarily see eye to eye all the time. So I'm glad that they are now in a space where they can do this. I'm glad people like Mia X and BG and Manny Fresh and Fiend are going to get like flowers, but I'm not sure I'm not sure we should be looking forward to, like, I'm not sure we should, like, Verzuz is back, baby. We back.
It's
I
a
don't think
one-hit
so.
wonder versus.
One hit wonder. This is like the swan song of Verzuz, for real. Like, it's to me.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
It's a
And
hell
that's
of a
good.
way to go out.
I think that's cool. I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
You think
All
that's
right,
he's
yo.
gonna bring out a tank?
Yo, he has
That
to.
would be
The
lit.
tank gotta be there the whole time. It's like the mothership for Parliament. You know what I'm saying? For Funkadelic, like, they gotta be there.
He just like
Okay.
performs an album cover the whole
Yes.
time.
They gotta be in full fatigues, and they were in that little promo I saw. They all had their fatigues and their no limit chains on. Shit gonna be cool.
So
Okay.
A solid gold
Shit gonna
tank.
be cool. Yeah. Solid gold tank.
I just
baby.
don't want him to bring out Romeo.
It's gonna happen.
Leave your
It's gonna
son
happen.
backstage.
It's gonna happen. He gonna definitely get into dreadlock Master P era. Okay. And that's some whack shit. I'm sorry. And he gonna have on his Mamanis, whatever his shoes are. They call them damn
Yeah.
sneakers.
I'm
Shouts to
good.
Master P, man. Shouts to Master P. All right. Appreciate y'all. Nargis, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Appreciate you. We'll see you next time. All right, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you all, man. Yo, you know what I was thinking about real quick? Halloween's coming up.
It is.
We've had some conversations in the
It
group chat
is.
about certain things we do.
We've had some great Halloween episodes, by the way,
We've
in the
actually had
past.
some really
Just to let
great
y'all know.
Halloween episode.
Yeah.
But sadly, we'll see, but we may not be able to do one in costume. It just depends on what we can work out. You and I could talk about.
Yeah.
We might. Okay. I don't want to promise anything. Okay. But if we cannot, what you gonna be for Halloween, bro?
Gambit.
Yo.
He trying to make a name for
You
himself.
trying to make a name for myself. Remy the Blow. Shout out that power. Hey, that's good. I like that. I like that. What you gonna be for Halloween, Pete?
But that fits smooth so perfectly.
Yes.
Honestly.
Remy the Blow.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure yet.
The
Might
hamburger.
be like a washing machine.
A block of cheese.
A washing machine is crazy. A moving washing machine.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
dog.
I got a couple ideas that I'm thinking about. You know what I mean?
The fridge.
He's
You know what I
he's
mean?
gonna
Right,
be
right,
a-
exactly.
nah, he gonna-
Exactly.
He's
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm
a
saying?
Roomba. For
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly.
Spinning in circles.
A moving file cabinet.
No, that would be good with the chair, being a Roomba. Just go in a circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Just go
You know what,
get stuck
Paul?
on the wall.
No,
and shit.
Paul.
Keep hitting the wall.
Here's the perfect costume for you, bro. Just dress up as a chair and be like, sit here.
Like an old chair.
No,
Yeah, no.
see-
Dress up as a chair. Say, sit here.
No
That-
Cosby.
Whenever the ladies get
No
tired.
Cosby whatsoever.
He said Bill Cosby.
I said no Cosby.
Oh, no
Cosby
Cosby. I thought he
whatsoever.
said Bill Cosby's chair.
Yo,
No.
what was that? It was a show
He's sitting
that
in
somebody
the chair,
sat down in
you
the couch, arms wrapped them up.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Right.
That's
No
Just
Cosby
like one of them
whatsoever.
wicker chairs that the black folks used to take pictures in back in the 70s and shit.
My
that
parents have
Pew,
one.
Pew Newton jump.
My
Yeah.
parents have one.
Nah, what was your from Blank Man? C4. What was it?
Hey,
Johnny
J5.
Five.
That's it. It's done for. J5. That is it.
We gonna get
That is it.
pom hair and
Right.
Hey,
We did it.
J5 it is.
J5.
son.
J5.
We did it.
J5.
Hey, nigga, if you do
No,
J5, I'll do Blank Man.
J5.
Hey, bro.
What
And
about
then you do what was the sidekick for Blank Man
Oh,
sidekick?
the other guy.
David
David
Algren, yeah.
The other guy.
Nah, yeah.
guy.
Wait, that's what his name, right? Was it the other
the
guy?
other guy that was
other
Yeah.
guy.
You know what I'm gonna be for Halloween? A decent man.
From the city of
Exactly.
Demons.
From the city of
Steven. I'm gonna be that
Demons.
How
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You should.
Anyway,
You should.
thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you all. Maybe we'll
And
dress
just
up
so
for
people
Halloween.
know, I'm gonna be sexy something.
Oh,
There you go.
shit.
No,
Sexy-
but hey,
sexy
on some
vampire,
real
sexy
shit.
whatever.
He podcast
Dress up as
catcalling.
yourself.
I know this isn't a Halloween thing. I mean, very serious here. Well, as serious as I can be. This is not meant to disrespect the cosplay community by saying it's a Halloween costume, okay? But
By the disrespect,
and I
you see.
mean this. I'm not even joking. LT is one of the dopest cosplayers.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
LT stuff be mean.
No,
Yeah.
seriously.
It be
like,
mean.
Like, I know this ain't
It be
Halloween
mean.
costumes, but like LT is if you go check
Nah,
out
you
LT's
be- yeah.
page, LT is a dope
Now you gets it in, dog.
cosplayer. Okay,
so
if you did dress a following, I'm pretty sure you put effort into it.
Yeah,
Figure it out something.
you're good at it.
But you're a dope cosplayer.
I mean, I killed it a couple years ago with Flint Flossie. I must admit.
I bring it
Paul said gets it in and he does it well.
I bring it
Floss.
All right, we gotta get ready to wrap, y'all. Let's get ready to get up out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Remember, follow us on all social platforms, MSR Trap on Instagram, MSR Pod on TikTok. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, smash the notification bell,
all day.
hit the and smash the like button and all that stuff. If you listen to us on Podcast Proper, we're on all podcasting platforms. Remember to rate and review the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get up out of here. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Keep your head up and keep positive. Don't listen. Keep moving forward, okay? I know it's crazy out here, but keep moving forward. All right, keep your head up. All right, Brother Smooth.
Yes, sir. Enjoying this October season. The weather, yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
LT.
That's his stage name.
LT.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin
Here it
spice.
is. Dab on them.
That's hilarious.
I'm Adam Butler. That's Paul Spann.
Black man span.
All right, remember to be great.
Elevate us.
J5.
We up out of here.
No J5.
No way. That's how we end.